Giving up too soon, quitting before breakthrough, abandoning goals when progress stalls. This is how most people fail. Not from lack of effort, not from wrong strategy, from lack of patience. They start strong, they work hard, they make initial progress, then progress slows. Results become invisible. Motivation fades. They quit. They quit 3 months before breakthrough would have occurred. 6 months before compound effects would have become visible. 1 year before goal would have been achieved. They were on correct path, but could not sustain effort through slow progress period. This pattern repeats across all domains. Fitness goals abandoned when visible results plateau. Business ventures quit when growth stalls. Skill development stopped when improvement becomes gradual rather than rapid. Relationships ended when initial excitement fades into steady companionship. The problem is not the goal. The problem is not the strategy. The problem is inability to persist through slow progress. Meanwhile, people who achieve significant long-term goals have one consistent characteristic: not superior talent, not better strategies, superior patience, ability to continue working when results are invisible, capacity to trust process when outcomes are delayed, willingness to invest today for payoff years away. Patience is not passive waiting. Patience is active persistence despite lack of immediate reinforcement. It is continuing to work knowing results will appear eventually, even though you cannot see them now. Most people will never develop this capacity. They will quit every long-term goal when progress slows. They will achieve only things that produce immediate results. They will never accomplish anything requiring sustained effort over years. You can choose differently. You can develop systematic patience, frameworks that enable persistence through slow progress, mental models that maintain motivation despite invisible results, systems that keep you working when emotional reinforcement disappears. This audiobook reveals exactly how to stay focused on long-term goals when results are slow using proven patience protocols. Not through willpower or motivation, through understanding why patience fails and implementing systems that prevent quitting. Through reframing slow progress as expected, not exceptional. Through creating reinforcement when natural reinforcement is absent. You will learn why most people quit too soon, what makes patience difficult, how to reframe slow progress productively, how to create artificial milestones when natural milestones are distant, how to maintain motivation without visible results, how to persist through plateau periods, how to prevent quitting during low points, stop quitting before breakthrough, start developing patience that persists, stay focused on long-term goals when results are slow. Now, introduction. Why patience fails and goals are abandoned. There are 2 types of people pursuing long-term goals. The first type quits when progress slows. They start enthusiastically. Early progress is rapid and visible. This creates motivation. But all goals have periods where progress slows or becomes invisible. When this happens, their motivation collapses. They interpret slow progress as failure. They quit. The second type persists through slow progress. They expect periods of invisible advancement. They maintain effort despite lack of immediate results. They trust that sustained work produces outcomes eventually. They achieve long-term goals because they never quit. Here is what you need to understand. Quitting is not moral failure. Quitting is predictable psychological response to specific conditions that can be systematically prevented. Humans evolved for immediate feedback environments. Hunt animal. Get food today. Plant crop. Harvest in season. Our reward systems are designed for relatively short feedback loops. Modern long-term goals violate this evolutionary design. Work hard for months or years before results appear. Investment today. Payoff in distant future. Your psychology is not naturally equipped for this. This creates patience problem. Your emotional system demands immediate reinforcement. Long-term goals provide delayed reinforcement. This mismatch between psychological need and goal structure causes quitting. Most people try solving this through willpower. Just be more disciplined. Push through. This fails because willpower is limited resource. It depletes. Eventually, emotional need for reinforcement overwhelms willpower and quitting occurs. Successful long-term goal achievement requires different approach. Not fighting your psychology, engineering around it. Creating systems that provide reinforcement during slow progress periods. Reframing slow progress so it does not trigger quitting response. This audiobook provides complete patience protocol. 8 systematic approaches that together enable persistence through any slow progress period. 8 frameworks preventing quitting before breakthrough. These are not motivational speeches. These are practical psychological techniques proven to maintain effort despite delayed results. Let's examine each protocol. Protocol 1. Progress reframing, seeing advancement in invisible work. The first protocol for maintaining patience is reframing how you perceive progress so that invisible advancement counts as real progress, preventing discouragement. Most people measure progress only by visible results. Weight lost, money earned, skill demonstrated. When these external results are not appearing, they conclude no progress is occurring. This false conclusion triggers quitting. Reality is that most progress is invisible during accumulation phase. You are improving, but results have not manifested yet. Reframing this invisible work as real progress prevents discouragement. Here is how to implement progress reframing. First, understand the two types of progress: input progress and output progress. Output progress is results, visible outcomes. This is what most people track exclusively. Input progress is work invested, effort applied, systems improved, process refined. This occurs before outputs appear and is equally valid progress. Example: weight loss. Output progress is pounds lost visible on scale. Input progress is workouts completed, meals prepared, habits established. Input progress occurs daily. Output progress appears weekly or monthly. When you measure only output progress, most days show zero progress. This is demoralizing. When you measure input progress, every day of adherence is progress. This maintains motivation. Second, create input-based metrics tracking work invested, not just results produced. For every long-term goal, define input metrics you can track daily or weekly. Fitness example: track workouts completed, protein consumed, sleep hours, not just weight or body composition. These inputs are controllable and measurable immediately. Business example: track content created, outreach completed, skills developed, not just revenue or customers. These inputs precede outputs and are controllable. Input metrics show progress every day because you control inputs. Output metrics show progress irregularly because outputs are partially outside your control. Third, implement daily input tracking, celebrating adherence as progress. Create simple tracking system. Did you complete planned inputs today? Checkbox. That check is progress. String together days of checked boxes. This creates visible progress even when outcome results are invisible. 20 consecutive days of completed inputs is real progress deserving recognition. This daily input celebration prevents the no progress discouragement that triggers quitting. Fourth, reframe plateau periods as consolidation, not stagnation. When output progress stalls, most people interpret this as failure. Actually, it is often consolidation. Consolidation is period where your system integrates previous gains before next advancement. Strength plateaus while body adapts to new stress level. Learning plateaus while brain consolidates neural pathways. Revenue plateaus while business stabilizes at new level. Plateau is not evidence of failure. Plateau is evidence previous progress is consolidating. Next advancement will come after consolidation completes. Reframing plateau as necessary consolidation rather than problematic stagnation prevents quitting during these periods. Fifth, recognize lag time between inputs and outputs, preventing false negative conclusions. There is always delay between work invested and results appearing. This lag varies by domain, but always exists. Fitness lag: 2 to 4 weeks between consistent training and visible body composition change. Skill lag: hundreds of hours of practice before competence becomes visible to others. Business lag: months or years between effort invested and revenue generated. During lag time, inputs are occurring, but outputs are not yet visible. Understanding this lag prevents false conclusion that inputs are not working. Sixth, create micro-progress indicators revealing invisible advancement. Even when major outputs are not appearing, micro-indicators can reveal progress. Micro-progress examples: workout that was difficult last month is easier now. Task that required concentration now feels automatic. Conversation that would have stressed you is now comfortable. These micro-indicators are not your goal, but they reveal you are advancing even when goal itself seems distant. Actively look for micro-progress. What is easier now than before? What requires less effort? What feels more natural? These reveal real progress. Seventh, document input progress, creating visible record of work invested. Keep practice log, training journal, work diary. These documents show exactly how much work you have invested. When motivation fails and you feel like nothing is happening, review documented inputs. You have completed 60 workouts, written 50,000 words, made 100 business development calls. This is massive input progress even if output progress is not yet visible. Documentation makes invisible work visible, preventing the illusion that nothing is happening. Here is what makes progress reframing essential for patients. It provides accurate assessment, preventing false discouragement. When you measure only outputs, slow progress periods create false belief that you are failing. This triggers quitting. When you measure inputs and recognize consolidation periods, slow output progress is understood correctly. You are still advancing. Outputs will follow inputs. This accurate understanding maintains persistence. Practice progress reframing deliberately. Understand input versus output progress distinction. Create input-based metrics tracking work invested. Implement daily input tracking celebrating adherence. Reframe plateaus as consolidation, not stagnation. Recognize lag time between inputs and outputs. Create micro-progress indicators. Document input progress. See advancement in invisible work. This is the first protocol for maintaining patience through slow progress. Protocol 2. Milestone engineering, creating artificial waypoints when natural milestones are distant. The second protocol for maintaining patience is engineering artificial milestones at regular intervals when natural milestones are too distant to provide psychological reinforcement. Most long-term goals have few natural milestones. Start and finish are clear. Everything between is unmarked territory. This lack of waypoints makes journey feel endless, triggering quitting. Patience protocol requires creating artificial milestones. These are not natural to goal structure. They are engineered specifically to provide psychological reinforcement during long middle period. Here is how to implement milestone engineering. First, understand that milestones serve psychological function, not just tracking function. Milestones break overwhelming journey into manageable segments. Each milestone achieved provides small victory, maintaining motivation. Without milestones, you have only two states, not done and done. This binary is psychologically difficult for long-term goals. Years of not done before reaching done creates demoralization. Milestones create third state, progress. Not done yet, but milestone achieved. This progress state maintains motivation. Second, create milestone ladder with evenly spaced intervals regardless of natural goal structure. Even if goal has no natural intermediate points, engineer artificial ones. For goal requiring 1 year of effort, create 12 monthly milestones. For goal requiring 3 years, create 12 quarterly milestones. Spacing depends on total timeline, but principle is same. Regular frequent milestones. These milestones might be arbitrary. Month 1 complete, quarter 1 done, but they provide psychological benefit of frequent achievement. Third, define clear criteria for milestone achievement, preventing ambiguity. Each milestone needs objective completion criteria, not vague made progress. Specific completed X. Example for fitness goal with 12-month timeline. Month 1 milestone. Complete 12 workouts. Track all meals. Lose 2 pounds month to milestone. Complete 12 workouts. Maintain meal tracking. Lose 2 more pounds, continue pattern with clear specific criteria. When milestone criteria are met, you achieve milestone. This is unambiguous when providing psychological boost. Fourth, implement milestone celebration, creating positive reinforcement. Achieving milestone must feel good, or it provides no motivational benefit. Celebration does not mean derailing progress. Celebration means acknowledging achievement. Share milestone with accountability partner. Reward yourself appropriately. Mark it explicitly. This celebration creates positive emotional association with persistence. Your brain gets reinforcement for continuing when temptation to quit was present. Without celebration, achieving milestones provides no emotional benefit. With celebration, milestones maintain motivation. Fifth, use milestone achievement as progress proof during discouragement. When you feel like quitting, review milestone history. How many have you achieved? This is concrete evidence of progress. You have achieved 6 milestones. This proves you are advancing, not failing. This evidence counteracts emotional discouragement, preventing quitting. Keep milestone achievement record visible. When motivation is low, reference record. Proof of past achievement creates confidence in future achievement. Sixth, adjust milestone criteria if consistently failing to achieve them. Milestones should be challenging but achievable. Success rate should be 80 to 90%. If you consistently fail milestones, they become demotivating rather than motivating. This defeats purpose. Adjust criteria, making them more achievable. Better to achieve reasonable milestones, maintaining motivation, than fail ambitious milestones, creating discouragement. Seventh, create mini milestones within major milestones for very long timelines. If major milestones are monthly or quarterly, you still have long periods between reinforcement. For these longer intervals, create mini milestones weekly or even daily. Complete this week's work. Finish today's session. These provide even more frequent wins. Nesting mini milestones within major milestones creates multiple layers of reinforcement. Daily wins build to weekly wins build to monthly milestones. This provides continuous psychological support. Here is what makes milestone engineering critical for patients. It provides frequent small victories, maintaining motivation through long middle period. Without engineered milestones, you have potentially years between start and finish with no achievement to celebrate. Human psychology cannot sustain motivation that long without reinforcement. Engineered milestones provide the reinforcement natural goal structure does not. Practice milestone engineering deliberately. Understand milestones serve psychological reinforcement function. Create evenly spaced milestone ladder. Define clear achievement criteria. Implement milestone celebration. Use achievement history as progress proof during discouragement. Adjust criteria if consistently failing. Create mini milestones within major milestones. Create artificial waypoints when natural milestones are distant. This is the second protocol for maintaining patience through slow progress. Protocol 3. Process focus, shifting attention from distant outcome to daily actions. The third protocol for maintaining patience is shifting primary focus from distant outcome to daily process, making today's work psychologically satisfying independent of long-term results. Most people stay fixated on outcome. They want to lose 50 pounds, build successful business, master complex skill. This outcome fixation creates suffering because outcome is distant and not immediately controllable. Patience protocol requires process focus. What you do today, your daily actions, your adherence to planned inputs. These are immediate and controllable, creating psychological satisfaction independent of distant outcomes. Here is how to implement process focus. First, understand that outcome focus creates anxiety while process focus creates peace. When you focus on outcome, you are constantly evaluating. Am I there yet? How much further? When will I arrive? These questions create anxiety because answers are unsatisfying. When you focus on process, you ask different questions. Did I complete today's work? Did I execute my plan? These questions have immediate satisfying answers. Yes, I completed today's work. This creates peace. Outcome focus creates perpetual dissatisfaction. Process focus creates daily satisfaction. Second, define your daily process explicitly separate from outcomes. What specific actions constitute proper process for your goal? List them. Fitness example. Complete planned workout. Eat according to plan. Get 7 hours sleep. Track inputs. These are process elements independent of outcome. You cannot control whether you lose weight on any given day. You can control whether you complete these for process elements. Focusing on controllable process reduces anxiety. Third, measure success daily by process adherence, not outcome achievement. At end of each day, evaluate. Did I adhere to process? If yes, day was success regardless of outcome progress. If no, day was failure regardless of outcome. This shifts success criteria from outcome, which is slow and delayed, to process, which is immediate and controllable. String together process success days. 10 consecutive days of perfect process adherence is victory deserving celebration. This provides frequent wins, maintaining motivation. Fourth, create process satisfaction ritual, making adherence feel good. Process adherence must provide emotional reward or process focus fails to maintain motivation. Process satisfaction ritual examples. Check box for completed process. Journal about day's adherence. Share process wins with accountability partner. Review completed inputs with pride. These rituals create emotional positive association with process adherence. Process becomes inherently satisfying, not just means to outcome. Fifth, reframe outcome as natural consequence of sustained process, not separate goal. Outcome obsession treats outcome as thing you must achieve through force. This creates stress. Process focus treats outcome as what naturally happens when process is sustained. If you adhere to proper process long enough, outcome appears automatically. You trust process to produce outcome. This trust reduces stress. You are not trying to force outcome. You are simply executing process knowing outcome follows naturally. Sixth, use process adherence streaks as motivational metric. Create streak tracking. How many consecutive days of process adherence? Streaks are powerful psychological tools. Once you have 10-day streak, you do not want to break it. This creates self-sustaining motivation independent of outcome progress. Streak maintenance becomes goal itself. I will not break my streak becomes powerful motivator carrying you through periods where outcome motivation is weak. 7th, celebrate process mastery independent of outcome results. You can become excellent at process execution even before outcome appears. This process mastery deserves recognition. You have perfectly executed your process for 30 consecutive days. This is mastery deserving celebration, even if ultimate outcome has not yet appeared. This early celebration maintains motivation during lag period before outcomes manifest. Here is what makes process focus essential for patience. It provides daily satisfaction while outcome is distant. Outcome focus creates months or years of dissatisfaction waiting for distant goal. Process focus creates daily satisfaction from executing your plan. This daily satisfaction maintains motivation, preventing quitting during long outcome delay. Practice process focus deliberately. Understand outcome focus creates anxiety while process focus creates peace. Define daily process explicitly. Measure success by process adherence, not outcome achievement. Create process satisfaction ritual. Reframe outcome as natural consequence of sustained process. Use adherence streaks as motivation. Celebrate process mastery independent of outcome. Shift attention from distant outcome to daily actions. This is the third protocol for maintaining patience through slow progress. Protocol 4. Expectation calibration, setting realistic timelines, preventing premature discouragement. The fourth protocol for maintaining patience is calibrating expectations to realistic timelines, preventing the discouragement that comes from expecting faster results than domain allows. Most people expect results faster than realistic. They see others finish products without seeing years of invisible work. They believe their timeline should match idealized version, not reality. When results do not appear on expected timeline, they become discouraged and quit. Patience protocol requires realistic expectation calibration. Understanding how long goals actually take. Setting timeline matching domain reality, not wishful thinking. Here is how to calibrate expectations realistically. First, understand that most people dramatically underestimate required timelines. This is planning fallacy. Everyone believes their situation is exceptional, allowing faster progress than normal. Planning fallacy appears everywhere. People think they can lose weight faster than average, build business faster than typical, master skill faster than others. This optimism leads to unrealistic timelines. When reality matches typical timeline, not exceptional timeline, they interpret normal progress as failure. This misperception triggers quitting. Second, research actual timelines for your goal domain. How long do goals like yours actually take for real people? Not best cases, not exceptional talents, average or typical cases. Find data. Interview people who achieved similar goals. Read case studies. Get realistic picture of timeline distribution. What is median time to achieve this goal? What is range from fastest to slowest? This research calibrates expectations to reality, preventing false belief that results should appear faster than domain allows. Third, add buffer to research timelines accounting for your specific constraints. Even research timelines represent people with full focus and optimal conditions. Your situation likely has constraints, less available time due to other commitments, fewer resources than typical achiever, learning curve for new domain. These constraints extend timeline beyond researched median. Realistic timeline is researched median plus buffer for your constraints. This prevents frustration when progress is slower than idealized timeline. Fourth, create 3 timeline scenarios: optimistic, realistic, and pessimistic. Optimistic timeline is best case if everything goes perfectly. Realistic timeline is most likely case with normal setbacks. Pessimistic timeline is worst case if major obstacles appear. Most people plan for optimistic timeline then quit when reality matches realistic timeline. Better approach is plan for realistic timeline, prepared for pessimistic timeline. If goal achievement takes realistic timeline, you expected this. If it takes pessimistic timeline, you were prepared. Only optimistic timeline is pleasant surprise. This prevents disappointment, triggering quitting. Fifth, implement timeline checkpoints evaluating whether pace matches expectations. At 25%, 50%, and 75% of realistic timeline, evaluate progress. Are you on pace for realistic timeline? Ahead? Behind? These checkpoints reveal whether calibration was accurate. If you are behind realistic timeline at checkpoint, you have 2 options: accept extended timeline or increase effort intensity. Either is valid. What is not valid is maintaining unrealistic expectation and becoming discouraged. Sixth, Reframe slow progress as on schedule, not behind schedule when progress matches realistic timeline. Most people feel behind even when pace is normal. This is because they mentally compare to optimistic timeline. When your progress matches realistic timeline you established, you are on schedule. This should feel good, not frustrating. Reframing normal pace as on schedule prevents unnecessary discouragement. Seventh, distinguish between realistic patience and delusional persistence. Patience is continuing when progress is slow but real. Delusion is continuing when evidence suggests approach is fundamentally flawed. Calibrated expectations help distinguish these. If progress is slow than realistic timeline, but evidence of advancement exists, this is patience situation. Continue. If progress is absent even compared to pessimistic timeline, and no evidence of advancement exists, this might be delusion. Approach revision or go re-evaluation warranted. Realistic calibration enables this distinction. Without calibration, you cannot tell difference between patience needed versus change needed. Here is what makes expectation calibration essential for patience. It prevents false discouragement from comparing reality to unrealistic ideal. Most quitting happens not because progress is actually failing, but because progress is slower than unrealistic expectation. Calibrating to reality means normal progress feels like success, not failure. This accurate perception prevents quitting. Practice expectation calibration deliberately. Understand planning fallacy creates unrealistic optimism. Research actual timelines for your goal domain. Add buffer accounting for constraints. Create optimistic, realistic, and pessimistic scenarios. Implement timeline checkpoints. Reframe normal pace as on schedule. Distinguish patience from delusion. Set realistic timelines, preventing premature discouragement. This is the fourth protocol for maintaining patience through slow progress. Protocol 5. Social accountability using external pressure to maintain consistency. The fifth protocol for maintaining patience is creating social accountability structures that generate external pressure to continue when internal motivation is insufficient. Most people rely exclusively on internal motivation. When they feel motivated, they work. When motivation fades, they stop. This creates inconsistency and eventual quitting because motivation always fluctuates. Patience protocol requires external accountability. Other people expect your continued effort. This external pressure maintains consistency even when internal motivation is low. Here is how to implement social accountability effectively. First, understand that internal motivation is unreliable for long-term goals. Motivation peaks at beginning when goal is exciting and novel. Motivation drops during middle when progress is slow and work is repetitive. Relying on motivation alone guarantees quitting during middle period. External accountability creates pressure independent of motivation. You continue working not because you feel like it, but because someone expects you to continue. This external pressure bridges gaps when internal motivation is absent. This is not weakness. This is understanding human psychology and engineering around limitations. Second, select accountability partners carefully based on specific criteria. Not everyone makes effective accountability partner. Effective partners have specific characteristics. Criteria for accountability partner. Pursuing similar long-term goal, creating shared understanding. Reliable in their own commitments, demonstrating they value consistency. Willing to provide honest feedback, not just encouragement. Available for regular check-ins, matching your timeline needs. Respected by you, making their disappointment meaningful. Random friend or family member usually fails these criteria. Better to find someone through community focused on your goal domain. Third, structure accountability relationship with clear expectations and schedules. Vague agreements fail. Clear structure works. Accountability structure elements. Specific check-in schedule weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. Format for check-ins: call, message, in-person meeting. What you will report: inputs completed, milestones achieved, challenges faced. What partner will provide feedback, encouragement, honest assessment. Consequences for missed commitments predetermined, not made up after failure. Document this structure. Both parties commit explicitly. This removes ambiguity, preventing accountability erosion. Fourth, implement public commitment, leveraging reputation as stake. Private goals can be abandoned without consequence. Public commitments create reputational stake. Public commitment options. Announce goal and progress timeline to friends, family, or social media. Join community and publicly commit to specific milestones. Create public progress log others can view. Commit to accountability group where others see your adherence. Public commitment works because humans care about reputation. Failing publicly feels worse than failing privately. This emotional cost prevents quitting. Fifth, use financial stakes creating monetary consequences for quitting. Money is a powerful motivator. Financial commitment amplifies accountability pressure. Financial stake mechanisms give money to accountability partner. Get it back only if goal achieved. Use commitment contract service like Stick that donates your money to charity you dislike if you fail. Join paid accountability program where money is lost if you quit. Bet against yourself with friend or partner. Financial stakes should be meaningful, large enough to matter, but not so large failure is catastrophic. Sweet spot is amount that makes quitting painful, but not ruinous. Sixth, create reciprocal accountability, where you hold partner accountable while they hold you accountable. One-way accountability is less powerful than reciprocal. When you are accountable to partner and partner is accountable to you, both benefit. You cannot disappoint them while simultaneously expecting them to continue. This mutual obligation is stronger than one-way relationship. Find partner with compatible goal. Structure reciprocal check-ins. This creates powerful mutual accountability. Seventh, adjust accountability intensity based on current struggle level. Accountability needs vary over time. When motivation is high, light accountability suffices. When motivation is low, intense accountability is needed. Scale accountability up during difficult periods. More frequent check-ins, stronger stakes, more public commitment. This increased pressure carries you through period when internal motivation has failed. Scale accountability down during easier periods, conserving partner energy and preventing accountability fatigue. Here is what makes social accountability critical for patients. It maintains consistency when motivation fails. Long-term goals guarantee periods of low motivation. Without accountability, these periods led to quitting. With accountability, you continue working because external pressure replaces internal motivation. This prevents quitting during temporary low points that would otherwise end goal pursuit. Practice social accountability deliberately. Understand internal motivation is unreliable. Select accountability partners based on specific criteria. Structure relationship with clear expectations. Implement public commitment. Use financial stakes. Create reciprocal accountability. Adjust intensity based on struggle level. Use external pressure to maintain consistency. This is the fifth protocol for maintaining patience through slow progress. Protocol 6. Mental model refinement, reframing patience as strength, not suffering. The sixth protocol for maintaining patience is refining mental models around patience itself, transforming it from experience of suffering to expression of strength. Most people experience patience as suffering. Waiting feels bad. Delayed gratification is painful. Slow progress creates frustration. This negative framing makes patience unsustainable because humans avoid suffering. Patience protocol requires reframing patience as strength. Patient persistence is capability demonstrating superiority over those who quit. This positive framing makes patience sustainable because humans pursue strength. Here is how to refine mental models, making patience empowering. First, understand that your mental model of patience determines your experience of patience. If you believe patience is suffering, it will feel like suffering. If you believe patience is strength, it will feel like strength. Mental models are not objectively true or false. They are interpretive frameworks. Same situation feels different under different mental models. You can choose empowering models over disempowering ones. This is not delusion. This is strategic frame selection. Choosing interpretation that enables goal achievement rather than interpretation that triggers quitting. Second, reframe delayed gratification as investment, not deprivation. Most people frame patience as giving up immediate pleasure for uncertain future benefit. This makes patience feel like loss. Better frame. Delayed gratification is investment. You are not giving up pleasure. You are investing present resources for future returns. This investment creates future abundance rather than present scarcity. Investment frame feels empowering. You are building something. Deprivation frame feels punishing. You are losing something. Same action, different experience based on mental model. Third, reframe slow progress as compound accumulation, not wasted time. When progress is invisible, it feels like time is being wasted. Nothing is happening. This triggers quitting. Better frame. Slow invisible progress is compound accumulation. Small inputs are accumulating. Compound interest is building. Eventually, accumulated progress will reach critical mass and results will appear suddenly. This is accurate model for many domains. Weight loss accumulates invisibly, then appears suddenly. Business growth accumulates slowly, then reaches tipping point. Skill development is invisible during learning phase, then obvious during demonstration phase. Compound accumulation frame maintains motivation during invisible phase because you trust accumulation is occurring. Fourth, reframe patience as competitive advantage, not unfortunate necessity. If you view patience as unpleasant requirement you must endure, it feels burdensome. Better frame. Patience is competitive advantage. Most people cannot sustain effort through slow progress. They quit. Your ability to continue when they quit is what separates you from mediocre performers. Patience is not burden. Patience is edge. This frame transforms frustrating situation into source of competitive pride. You are doing what others cannot. This feels empowering, not punishing. Fifth, reframe waiting as preparation, not passive suffering. When you are waiting for results, it feels like nothing is happening, just suffering through time. Better frame. Waiting period is preparation. You are preparing for success that is coming. Building capabilities needed for next level. Establishing systems required for results. When results arrive, you will be prepared. This preparation frame makes waiting active, not passive. You are doing something, not just suffering. Sixth, adopt identity as patient, persistent person, not victim of slow progress. If you see yourself as victim of unfortunate circumstances requiring patience, you suffer. Better frame. You are patient, persistent person. This is your identity. Patient persistence is your character strength. Difficult situation is opportunity to express the strength. Identity frame converts challenge into opportunity for identity expression. You are not suffering. You are being who you are. This identity model is psychologically powerful. Humans act consistent with identity. If patient persistence is identity, you continue being patient because that is who you are. Seventh, collect examples of others who succeeded through patience, normalizing your experience. When you feel uniquely cursed with slow progress, isolation increases suffering. Better frame. Your experience is normal. Others faced same slow progress and persisted to success. You are in good company. This is expected path, not exceptional hardship. Collect success stories emphasizing patience. Person who persisted 5 years before breakthrough. Business that took 7 years to profitability. Skill that required thousands of hours. These normalize your timeline. Here is what makes mental model refinement essential for patience. It transforms psychological experience from suffering to strength. Same objective situation feels completely different under different mental models. Suffering model makes patience unsustainable. Strength model makes patience source of pride, enabling continuation. Practice mental model refinement deliberately. Understand mental models determine experience. Reframe delayed gratification as investment. Reframe slow progress as compound accumulation. Reframe patience as competitive advantage. Reframe waiting as preparation. Adopt patient persistence identity. Collect examples normalizing your experience. Reframe patience as strength, not suffering. This is the 6th protocol for maintaining patience through slow progress. Protocol 7. Low point protocol, preventing quitting during temporary valleys. The 7th protocol for maintaining patience is implementing specific low point protocol that prevents quitting during temporary motivational valleys that are predictable and recoverable. Most people quit during low points. These are temporary periods where motivation crashes, progress feels impossible, and quitting feels rational. But low points are temporary. Quitting during low point means missing eventual success by shortest margin. Patience protocol requires recognizing low points and implementing predetermined response, preventing permanent decisions during temporary states. Here is how to implement low point protocol. First, understand that low points are normal, predictable phases, not signs of fundamental failure. Every long-term pursuit has motivational cycles. High motivation periods, moderate motivation periods, low motivation periods. Low points feel like unique crises. This is my breaking point. I cannot continue. But they are normal temporary valleys. They pass if you do not quit during them. Recognizing low point as temporary normal phase rather than exceptional crisis prevents overreacting. Second, identify your personal low point triggers, knowing when valleys are likely. Low points are not random. They have triggers. Knowing triggers allows prediction. Common low point triggers. Extended period without visible results. Significant setback or failure. Comparison to others who appear to progress faster. Life stress reducing available energy for goal pursuit. Seasonal factors: winter, anniversaries, holidays. Hitting major milestone with post-achievement letdown. Identify which triggers affect you most. When these triggers appear, expect low point. Prepare for it rather than being surprised. Third, Create predetermined low point response protocol implemented when value appears. During low point, you cannot think clearly. Emotion overwhelms rationality. Decisions made during low point are suspect. Low point protocol is decision made in advance during clear thinking. When low point arrives, you implement protocol, not make new decisions. Protocol elements. No major decisions allowed during low point, no quitting, no major changes. Minimum viable effort level reduced to sustainable minimum, but do not stop completely. Reach out to accountability partner immediately. Review past progress evidence. Implement specific recovery practices below. Having protocol prevents impulsive quitting. You are not deciding whether to quit. You are implementing predetermined protocol. Fourth, implement minimum viable effort during low point, maintaining continuity. When motivation crashes, maintaining full effort becomes impossible. Attempting full effort leads to failure, which triggers quitting. Better approach is minimum viable effort. What is smallest amount of work maintaining continuity without overwhelming depleted motivation? Examples: fitness, instead of full workout, do 10-minute walk. Writing, instead of 1,000 words, write 100 words. Business, instead of full workday, complete one small task. Minimum viable effort maintains continuity. Continuity prevents complete stop, which makes restart much harder. You are still working even if reduced level. Fifth, use past low point recovery as evidence current low point will pass. You have experienced low points before. You recovered from them. Progress resumed. This is evidence current low point is also temporary. Document past low points and recoveries. When current low point appears, review documentation. You felt this way before. You recovered. You continued. You succeeded. This evidence counteracts emotional belief that current low point is permanent. It is temporary like previous ones. Sixth, implement specific recovery practices restoring motivation. Low points pass naturally over time. Recovery practices accelerate return to normal motivation. Recovery practices: physical, exercise, sleep, nutrition, physiological foundation for motivation. Social, connect with supportive people, social energy. Success review, review past achievements and progress, confidence rebuilding. Why reconnection, review purpose behind goal, meaning restoration. Environmental, remove stressors if possible, energy conservation. These practices do not force motivation. They create conditions where motivation naturally returns. Seventh, commit to minimum viable effort for predetermined duration before considering quitting. When low point appears, commit to the protocol for specific time period, 2 weeks, 1 month. Through this valley, during commitment period, you execute minimum viable effort. You are not deciding whether to quit. You already decided to continue for commitment period. This predetermined duration gets you through temporary valley. By end of commitment period, low point has often passed naturally. What felt like crisis is revealed as temporary valley. Here is what makes low point protocol critical for patients. It prevents permanent decisions during temporary states. Most quitting happens during low points that would have passed if person had continued slightly longer. Low point protocol prevents this tragedy. You persist through valley. Motivation returns. Goal achievement continues. You do not quit 3 months before breakthrough. Practice low point protocol deliberately. Understand low points are normal, predictable phases. Identify personal low point triggers. Create predetermined response protocol. Implement minimum viable effort, maintaining continuity. Use past recovery as evidence current low point will pass. Implement recovery practices. Commit to protocol for predetermined duration. Prevent quitting during temporary valleys. This is the 7th protocol for maintaining patience through slow progress. Protocol 8. Compound benefit visualization, seeing long-term value of continued effort. The 8th and final protocol for maintaining patience is visualizing compound benefits that accumulate through sustained effort, making long-term value obvious enough to motivate present persistence. Most people cannot see compound benefits. They see only immediate effort required today and lack of immediate results. This makes continuing feel pointless, triggering quitting. Patience protocol requires making compound benefits visible through systematic visualization, showing that continued effort creates exponentially greater value than quitting. Here is how to implement compound benefit visualization. First, understand that humans discount future benefits heavily. Benefit today feels much more valuable than same benefit next year. This temporal discounting makes patience psychologically difficult. Compound benefit visualization counteracts temporal discounting by making future benefits vivid and concrete. When future becomes real, it competes with present in decision-making. This does not eliminate discounting, but reduces it enough to enable patience. Second, calculate actual compound value of continued effort versus quitting. Most people make patience decisions emotionally without calculating real numbers. Numbers make compound benefits concrete. Calculate. Value if you quit now. Value if you continue 1 more month. Value if you continue 6 months. Value if you continue to goal completion. Often these numbers reveal dramatic differences. Quitting now produces X. Continuing to completion produces 10x or 10x. Seeing these numbers makes patience rational, not just emotional. Third, create visual representation of compound benefit trajectory. Graphs are more visceral than numbers. Create visual showing value accumulation over time. Graph shows x-axis, time, y-axis, accumulated value. Curve showing compound growth exponential, not linear. Your current position on curve, projected position if you continue, last value if you quit now. This visual makes abstract compound benefit concrete. You see exactly how much value quitting destroys. Fourth, identify specific compounding mechanisms in your domain. Different domains compound differently. Identifying your domain's compounding mechanism makes benefit real. Compounding mechanisms examples: fitness. Improved health compounds reducing medical costs and extending healthy years. Skills. Mastery compounds opening opportunities unavailable to intermediate practitioners. Business. Revenue compounds enabling reinvestment accelerating growth. Relationships. Trust compounds creating deeper connection over decades. Knowledge. Understanding compounds making new learning faster. Understanding mechanism makes compound benefit believable, not abstract theory. Fifth, visualize specific opportunity costs of quitting. What specific opportunities become unavailable if you quit now? Opportunity costs. Relationships that would have developed. Career advancement that requires completion. Financial returns that only appear after threshold. Personal capabilities that emerge only through full development. Experiences that require achievement of goal. Make these concrete. Specific lost opportunities feel more real than abstract lost value. Sixth, use regret minimization framework in decision making. When tempted to quit, project to future self. Will future you regret quitting now? Regret minimization question. Looking back from age 80, will I regret quitting 3 months before breakthrough? Or will I regret continuing through temporary difficulty? Usually regret from quitting too soon is much larger than regret from persisting through difficulty. This framework clarifies decision. Future self-regret is powerful motivator. Avoiding future regret enables present patience. Seventh, document compound benefits as they appear, making them visible. Compound benefits are often invisible because they appear gradually. Active documentation makes them visible. Keep benefit log. As advantages from your effort appear, document them. Even small benefits. Over time, log shows accumulated benefits that would not exist without sustained effort. Reviewing benefit log during low motivation provides evidence that continued effort is producing value even when progress feels slow. Here is what makes compound benefit visualization essential for patients. It makes long-term value compete with short-term comfort in decision-making. Without visualization, only short-term is visible, making quitting feel rational. With visualization, long-term compound value becomes concrete. Continuing despite difficulty becomes obviously correct choice. Practice compound benefit visualization deliberately. Understand humans discount future benefits heavily. Calculate actual compound value of continuing versus quitting. Create visual representation of benefit trajectory. Identify specific compounding mechanisms. Visualize opportunity costs of quitting. Use regret minimization framework. Document compound benefits as they appear. See long-term value of continued effort. This is the 8th protocol for maintaining patience through slow progress. From quitting too soon to persistent achievement, you now understand the 8 protocols for maintaining patience, enabling persistence through slow progress periods when results are invisible. Progress reframing, milestone engineering, process focus, expectation calibration, social accountability, mental model refinement, low point protocol, compound benefit visualization. These are not motivational speeches. These are practical psychological protocols proven to maintain effort despite delayed results. Here is what you must understand. Most goal failures are not from wrong goals or wrong strategies. Most failures are from quitting too soon during normal slow progress periods. People quit 3 months before breakthrough, 6 months before compound effects become visible, 1 year before goal achievement. They were on correct path but could not sustain effort through normal patience testing period. You can choose differently. You can implement systematic patience protocols. You can persist through slow progress. You can achieve goals that require years of sustained effort. This is not about suffering through unpleasant waiting. This is about engineering psychological conditions that make persistence natural rather than requiring constant willpower. Here is how to begin implementing patience protocols immediately. Implement one protocol per week for 8 weeks, building complete patience system. Week 1. Progress reframing. Create input-based metrics. Start daily input tracking. Week 2. Milestone engineering. Create milestone ladder for current goal. Define clear achievement criteria. Week 3. Process focus. Define daily process. Shift success measurement to process adherence. Week 4. Expectation calibration. Research realistic timelines. Create optimistic, realistic, pessimistic scenarios. Week 5. Social accountability. Find accountability partner. Structure relationship with clear expectations. Week 6. Mental model refinement. Reframe patience as investment and competitive advantage. Adopt patient persistence identity. Week 7. Low point protocol. Create predetermined response for motivational valleys. Define minimum viable effort. Week 8. Compound benefit visualization. Calculate compound value. Create visual representation. One protocol per week. 8 weeks total. At end, you have complete patience system enabling persistence through any slow progress period. Then use system. When progress is fast and visible, protocols provide unnecessary but harmless structure. When progress slows and becomes invisible, protocols prevent quitting that would otherwise occur. In 1 year of using protocols, you will have persisted through slow periods that previously would have triggered quitting. In 3 years, you will have achieved long-term goals that seemed impossible from starting position. This is not exceptional ability. This is systematic patience engineering. Normal people achieve extraordinary goals not through superior talent, but through superior patience enabled by protocols. Stop quitting 3 months before breakthrough. Stop abandoning goals during normal slow progress periods. Stop believing that invisible progress means no progress. Start implementing patience protocols. Start persisting through slow periods. Start achieving long-term goals others quit before achieving. Most people will quit when progress slows. You will persist because you understand patience is not willpower. Patience is protocol. Stay focused on long-term goals when results are slow. Implement protocols enabling patience. Persist when others quit. Achieve what sustained patience makes possible. Begin now. If you made it to the end of this audiobook, you are serious about building real capability. Most people stop halfway through. You stayed. That tells me something about your commitment to becoming better. This is exactly the kind of person this channel is built for. People who want substance over motivation, systems over inspiration, deep frameworks over surface tactics. If that resonates with you, subscribe to this channel. Every audiobook here follows the same principle. Real capability development through practical frameworks you can apply immediately. No fluff, no motivational empty calories, just systematic approaches to becoming genuinely better. New audiobooks on competence, discipline, influence, and strategic thinking published regularly. Subscribe so you do not miss them. And if this audiobook added value, leave a comment sharing which protocol you will implement first. I read every single comment. Your engagement helps these audiobooks reach other serious people who will actually use this information. Thank you for listening all the way through. Now go build what you learned.